Unas 3 horas más pegado al mono aquí con Metal Gear Solid. El dolor fantasma. Otra visión más. No, estamos en la historia con la pandemia. Estamos buscando a Cody Tiker. La última de la última.
Talker is somewhere inside the mansion in Lufwa Valley. Find him and extract him. They know about that battle just now. You're right at the mansion. The target's close. Be sure to think this through. They're with the PF Zero Risk Security. Looks like they're already on guard. Why don't you try interrogating them? They might know the target's exact location. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. You gonna extract him?
Puta, weón.
iDroid information updated. There's more than one entrance. How do you plan on sneaking in? Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. Speak. We know where to find the target. Do whatever it takes to bring Code Talker back. He's coming too. Roger that. Extract him. He's coming too. Roger that. Spit it out. Where are your friends? Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. Spit it out. Where are the others? He's coming too. Roger that.
Está viendo una muela. Ya, ya uno.
You got to extract him. Talk. Where are your friends?
¿Dónde está la F? Ahí está la F.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Luego quedaron todos los... Bueno, déjenme hacer esto. No. Ahí está la F. Pero cómo me pegó así, weón, cómo viene a pegar ahora, weón. Puta que rabia.
Hands up. Talk. Where are the others?
You gotta extract him.
Hands up. Speak. Where are your friends?
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Ese no está. Puta que mierda, me perdí. No me importante. Ya, pongamos los místicos. Ahí está la velita. Ahí está la otra velita. Más velita. Sigue la velita. Y con este traje se ve la raja del cinemático.
I've been waiting, Tilly. Or should I say, Bedachokale.
That's him. That's Code Talker.
Look familiar? It's infecting my men. How do we
Silence. Or death.
What do you...
It could be in here. Stay quiet. Your life depends on it. Sit. The parasite has infected your band. Those are its larvae. They enter the throat and attach themselves to the vocal cords. They mimic the host's membranes flawlessly. No one can tell the difference. Upon reaching maturity, they mate. Sustained exposure to a particular sound triggers copulation. The resulting larva then feast on the host lungs, killing it. The particular sound is words. They attack only those who speak a certain language, not just one. I cannot say which language your parasites are attuned to. But silence is the best way to keep them from laying their children. This contains an herb that they dislike. That should deafen them for a while. You have bought yourself some time. Speak.
Is there a cure?
Once symptoms manifest, larvae have already infested the alveoli. At which point, nothing can be done. There is a way to halt the onset, which would prevent infection.
I need your help.
He stole the ones I sealed away, forced me to do his terrible work.
Skullface.
Even a country like America sways in his wake. I could not defy him. The fate of Dine lies in his hands. However, perhaps the Nishia led you here. If my children have upset the Hojun of the world, it falls to me to set it right.
You've secured the target, but he's too old to risk a Fulton extraction. Put Code Talker in the chopper and return to base.
He claims they are the dream of every ruler since the dawn of time. Teach them your enemy's words, then unleash them on his lands, destroying only those who speak his tongue. He calls them his ethnic cleansers.
Ethnic cleansers? That's what Skullface is after. In Zuya, Badiabulo was... Boss, he's gonna wipe every language besides English off the face of the earth.
Ironic, isn't it? They gave us language, and now they take it away. It is thanks to them that man first learned to speak. But now, the hands of their clock turn back. They've been warped by the hands of man.
Alle troepen, dit is CP. We zitten in noodgeval. De voet van vreemde indringer. Alle eenheden, maken het gebied af. Moet niet dat hij ontsnapt is. Uit.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. Roger.
On my command.
CP, destructuur. Vijandige scherpschutter verloren. Gelijkgericht. Boord. Dit is CP, begrijp. Wees verraad. Wanneer hij van
This is Pequod. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is Pequod. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
Weón, es un tanque, nos tiramos.
Target. If he dies, Mother Base dies with him.
Ay, yo me veía tanto.
Enemy threat.
Snake, are you okay? Snake!
You've secured the target, but he's too old to risk a Fulton extraction. Put Code Talker in the chopper and return to base.
Habla, pues joder, el Taker culiao, saqué una tarea, ¿no?
Alles roepen, dit is CP. Ons het in noodgeval. Die voorspan is uitgehaald deur 'n vreemde indringer. Alle eenhede, maak in die gebied af. Moenie dat hy ontsnap nie. Uit.
They know you took out the skulls. No sense rushing things now. Wait and see what their next move is.
707, ons hulpbronne is gesteel. Waarskynlik 'n indringer. Bystand asseblief. Oor. Dit is CP, begryp. Verdere verlies is onaanvaarbaar. Hou julle oë oop. Uit.
You gonna extract him? Roger that.
Take aim.
Fire!
Is she okay?
You gonna extract him? Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. You gonna extract him?
Puta la weá, que weá, por la chucha, weón.
Ik wil niet, Brittany.
Where are your friends?
Seriously, leaving him there. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Aquí falta la policía que hemos limpio.
endanger the target like that. You have to bring him back here. You gotta extract him. You're not seriously leaving him there.
Puta weón, me faltaron. La vea vendía, weón. Puta, no lo soy.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
This is Pequod. Approaching position. This is Pequod. I have arrived at Marker. Cover fire. In hot. Target acquired. In hot.
Vamos, mátalo, mátalo. Mata la pelea de helicóptero, puta, no se puede.
In hot. Watch out, boss. This is Pequod. No targets remaining. Ending attack run and we'll stand by at LZ. Prioritizing elimination of enemy threats.
Alles gespannt, das sind wir. Fokus alles hier auf die Feuerhelikopter.
This is Pequod. No targets remaining. Ending attack. This is Pequod. Have arrived at LZ. We'll stand by.
Ah, ya lo mató, qué buena.
Roger.
Fue el helicóptero.
This is Pequod. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is Pequod. On station at LZ. Gaining altitude.
Me faltó una, weón.
Yes, mission complete. Boss, that was exceptional. bodies of the 2 missing intel team members in Lufwa Valley. We knew we wouldn't get them back alive, but still, it's a damn shame. Don't let their sacrifice go to waste, boss. We need to stop the epidemic at Mother Base. That old man, Code Talker, he's the only hope we've got.
Good. He captured it alive.
Tell me how to fight it.
I hid the answer in a microbe this one carries. It turns the male parasites into females, preventing reproduction. One parasite infecting another. However, it doesn't affect only the parasite. It alters the host as well. Your infection will be contained, but you and your men will also be rendered infertile. That is the price you must pay to regain your speech.
What?
That freak show back there. They the work of your children too?
A different strain from the vocal cord parasite, known as the one that covers. It acts as the host's skin, providing strength in exchange for nourishment. But I did not know those men were infected. They were forced to serve him, then steal my research. Have you seen one of their vehicles?
The yellow cake.
Captured a convoy they were escorting. Cargo, some kind of mineral.
What became of it? The metallic archaea?
Clouds ahead!
It's them.
Boss, are you okay? So the vocal cord parasites that have infected Mother Base, they're ethnic cleansers designed to silence those who don't fit into Skullface's worldview. We can't allow him to have such power. Go over the mission details and get going ASAP.
Ya, nada, pura historia nomás. Y aquí quedamos.
Boss, you okay? There's an unusual mist in front of your chopper. It could be the same one as before. Cypher is trying to eliminate Code Talker, but we can't save the infected without him. Boss, whatever you do, bring Code Talker back alive.
Estamos pegando temprano. Puta, era cuanto antes.
Out ahead! It's them.
Ahora la piran.
The support chopper can't get close to your position right now.
Hurry! They are coming! We are their quarry.
Skulls. So that Missy is their work. We won't be able to send in another chopper for now. Boss, you'll need to eliminate the skulls. We cannot lose control.
¡Ah! Ah, no me di cuenta. Tiro para la puta sao. ¡Ah! Toma. ¿Puedes ponerle bueno? Puta, weón. Oh, me comí dos. No, una más y me tiró. Casi listo, loco. No fue suficiente la Killer Bee nivel 5, weón. Puta, pero pégale, weón. Te toca disco. Puta, conche tu madre. Pero ahora no la chunto, weón. Pegaste. Malditos cráneos culiados. Vos manda, vos manda. Te quiero ganar con el típico clase. Ven, ven, atácame, atácame. Toma, weón.
Great work,
Cráneo.
boss.
No los puedo.
Coming in on another chopper. Get Code Talker to the LZ and wait there.
Qué buena pelea con los cráneos, weón.
This is Pequod. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is Pequod. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. Get in, boss. Yes, mission complete. Boss, that was exceptional.
Ah, la quest, bien. No caí con un soldado títere. 100 reinicios, bien.
Skullface is no longer in Africa. The nuclear test was a success. Now they turned their knives on me.
Satellites didn't read any test. Neither did seismometers.
The detonation test took place 5 years ago in the southern Indian Ocean. The final test was the opposite, to prevent detonation.
You mean?
Skullface plans to sell nuclear weapons that he retains control of.
It's not like hawking small arms to militias.
Indeed. He plans to avoid detection by exporting minerals containing tiny amounts of uranium in the form of metallic archaea. Once on site, metallic archaea enrich the uranium and weaponize it. Loaded onto all-terrain bipedal machines. They ensure any country, armed group, even the smallest terrorist cell, can become a nuclear power.
Bipedal. So that's why they needed Huey.
A nuke business to replace the arms business. And Skullface owns the market.
The very atmosphere of nukes, anywhere and everywhere. Deterrence on all sides.
So that's why he ran a non-detonation test.
Yes. Another metallic archaea instantly overrides the criticality generator. A fail-safe only he controls. Any such weapon can be deactivated whenever he chooses, regardless of who owns it or their intent to use it.
Nukes. Controlled by a man, not a country.
If they proliferate, conventional nukes lose all value. Political, military, and economic. The two superpowers become powerless.
The R&D and medical teams have come up with a proposal for a new suit that applies Code Talker's research. The Parasite suit. Apparently, it can recreate some of the Skull's unusual abilities. But in order to use those abilities, it needs parasites. If you want to wear this suit, you're gonna need to get a hold of parasites by extracting skulls.
We need to stop the epidemic at Mother Base.
About the pathogen spreading through Mother Base, what's your opinion?
Textbook symptoms of vocal cord parasite infestation. And judging from this casualty list, it is the Kikango strain. Meaning, a breed of parasite that triggers symptoms upon detecting pronunciation specific to Kikango.
So how do we keep them from becoming symptomatic?
Use this. A type of Wolbachia. Introduced to a sample of the parasite. A parasitic bacteria that colonizes the parasites, turning male to female and preventing copulation. We must cultivate more.
Thanks to Code Talker, we've managed to put a stop to any new vocal cord parasite infections. We couldn't save those already symptomatic, but everyone who survived has been released from the quarantine platform. Skullface will pay for this.
Again with the truth serum?
What are those legs made of? Titanium? All the way to the femur.
Metallic archaea.
Sahelanthropus. Where is it?
What?
We have to know before his plan is complete. Sahelanthropus is the final piece.
What are you talking about?
If the Soviets break out a mobile, controllable nuclear weapon, East-West relations will be right back at the Cuban Missile Crisis.
The Cold War returns to life, as countries without nuclear arsenals line up for what Skullface is selling. Nuclear weapons proliferate overnight, and on the brink of annihilation, the world maintains its balance.
But we know this is all just a shield.
A ruse. The cleansing parasites are what matter most. A WMD to eclipse even nukes, and the only one that can still be used. Skullface is the world's greatest threat, and Zero's. The pieces are in place. All that remains is to unveil Sahelanthropus in Afghanistan.
They can't activate it without me. Okay, B-0. Sahelanthropus is beyond the Soviet base camp, in a lab built by the Soviet philosophers. That's what you're looking for. But I have no idea how he's controlling it. It wasn't designed to accommodate a human pilot. No! No! Wait!
Cuidado, mày đại con mà.
We got word from Afghanistan. Everyone at the Soviet base camp's dead. No sign of fighting. Parasites. Skullface's men then headed north. The target is OKB-0. That's where he'll activate Sahelanthropus. Unless we stop him, he'll go down in history a conquering victor. We can't let that happen. Wipe him out. Don't leave any trace of his existence.
I'm gonna need backup on this one.
You'll rendezvous on site.
About the pathogen spreading through Mother Base. You've seen everything we've got on the outbreak. What's your opinion?
Textbook symptoms of vocal cord parasite infestation. And judging from this casualty list, it is the Kikongo strain, meaning a breed of parasite that triggers symptoms upon detecting pronunciation specific to Kikongo. So our Kikongo-speaking staff are at risk. Quite so.
He's right. All the victims do speak Kikongo.
So they can survive if they just use another language. There is no guarantee. You're only dealing with the Kikongo strain. Other language strains may be present,
You well know he was teaching them languages from all over the world. The Devil's House. In Zoya Badiabulu. There is no way to know how many strains he has at his disposal.
So how do we keep them from becoming symptomatic? You mentioned using microbes.
Use this. A type of Wolbachia. Introduced to a sample of the parasite.
Wolbachia?
A parasitic bacteria that colonizes the parasites, turning male to female and preventing copulation. You must cultivate more. What have you done with the infected bodies?
Cremated to stop the spread of infection. But we did keep a few for study.
Good. Take this sample, grind it to a pulp, and introduce it to the larvae now nesting in the dead. The Wolbachia will multiply rapidly within those larvae.
They're soldiers, not some petri dish.
Conventional cultivation methods will take too long. Extract the Wolbachia from those larvae and vaccinate your men. Kikongo speakers first. This is the fastest, surest way. No one is to speak a word of Kikongo until the Wolbachia are safely inside them. I will instruct your medical staff in detail on site. You have the appropriate facilities.
Yes, but
do not worry. I made a pact with your Bete Holone on the honor of the Dene. I speak no lies.
Keep an eye on him.
Will do. Follow me. I'll take you to the medical team.
Now, we must wait for the Wolbachia to multiply in the larvae.
How is the disease transmitted? If it's carried by insects or rodents, then...
There is no intermediate host.
So...
The vocal cord parasites lay their eggs in the larynx of the host. Most hatch and migrate to the lungs, but some are transported to the mouth through ciliary movement, mixing in with saliva.
Saliva. Droplet transmission.
Sneezing, coughing. Any food or water containing infected saliva. It would spread fast.
Indeed. And when the larvae migrate to the lungs, symptoms can resemble the early stages of a cold, making it easy to infect others.
Meaning a simple conversation would be enough to pass it on.
All right, so what happens after the larvae migrate to the lungs?
It is as I said before. They mature by feeding on alveolar tissue. It is only then that noticeable symptoms appear in the host.
And by that point, it's too late. He's infected everyone else. It's one hell of a weapon you've created.
That is what Blagabana wanted. Something that would spread easily. In truth, he's not the
No había
reason.
Uber.
But we will discuss that another time.
The Wolbachia have multiplied. We're preparing to extract them and begin vaccinating. But is this really the only way? Sure, it'll prevent infection, but the cost...
You would rather remove their vocal cords?
No. Tactical communication's the linchpin of what we do.
What if we were to ban the use of Kikongo?
Insufficient. First, there's no guarantee that only the Kikongo strain is here. Second, there is the matter of how the parasites lay their eggs. Before they can copulate, they must be exposed to the pronunciation of a specific language for a period of time, like a container filling with water. But the duration between when the container is full and when the copulation actually begins varies from case to case. In other words, even if the infected stop speaking as a countermeasure, it may already be too late. The only true solution is to prevent copulation through the Wolbachia, or by physically removing the affected tissue.
Do any anti-parasitics work?
It sounds as though you have already tried.
Yeah. We tried every one there is, and nothing.
I have yet to find a medicine that can remove the parasites. At best, it temporarily covers their ears.
Why is that?
Because the parasites are companions to us. To remove them inevitably harms the host.
Companions?
More than you think. And this is why the human immune system cannot eliminate them.
Parásito a la venta también. Solo de esperar. Órale. Puta. El helicóptero. La velocidad. Oh, le falta poquito. Y ahí llega lo más bacán del helicóptero. Tiene más velocidad, alcance efectivo menos, agrupamiento más. Vamos. parto. Cualquier historia, bueno. La primera infección, el experimento en África, experimento en Afganistán, experimento en Bulgaria.
We've inoculated the staff with Walbachia to keep them from becoming symptomatic.
That should also contain the infection.
How did this happen in the first place? It has to have been a Cypher spy within our ranks.
If this is so, then why the Kakongo strain? If their intent was to wipe you out.
Skullface said the remaining English parasite was close to the boss. If this latest strain was his doing, he wouldn't have tipped his hand.
It is possible someone brought eggs onto the base without knowing. Stuck to their shoes, clothing.
Well, that makes the most sense to me. And where did the eggs come from?
You mentioned that your boss visited Nzoya Badiopulu.
Sure, but his gear's disinfected immediately upon return.
Then he was not the carrier.
And not just the boss. All staff dispatched to high-risk regions were quarantined on the flight back. When the symptoms first appeared, we checked and disinfected all equipment used up to that point. Any and all prisoners, soldiers, materials, and animals extracted during missions were also quarantined.
So, that just leaves...
I have seen children around here. Where are they from?
All over. Some were being held hostage at a mine. Then there were the troublemakers at Vuala Yamasa.
Vuala Yamasa?
Yeah.
Their clothes, their things. Did you burn them?
They're just kids. We couldn't. And besides, not one of them's shown symptoms.
The parasites don't infect prepubescent hosts. Their vocal cords are not fully developed.
Well, if infection doesn't occur in children...
It is possible they carried eggs on their clothes, and the infection spread from them.
Check the kid's stuff.
I doubt there is any trace left by now.
And if there is, some of those kids must be close to hitting puberty. How could we have missed this?
The name Vuala Yamasa got quite a reaction from you. I'm guessing the Kakongo strain was released in that village.
Cypher used that region to experiment with vocal cord parasite transmission. The Kakongo strain. The settlements around the refinery upstream of Vuala Yamasa were the proving grounds. They would infect one villager, then record transmission speed. Dangerous work. If they failed to contain the infection, it would slip into the surrounding regions.
At which point the world found out about the parasites, making them useless as a weapon. Incredible they'd risk such a thing.
The test site was densely populated too. A terrible place for such experiments. No doubt, they thought burning everything would wipe away all traces. The settlements were covered in oil anyway. Who would wonder if one day they caught fire? And so it did. They burned it all. Living and dead.
Those remains.
But they miscalculated. Transmission speed was far faster than anticipated. It may have been the temperature, or hygiene standards, or perhaps the parasites reacted quickly to Kakongo. Whatever the reason, Nearly all villages were swiftly infected, and the settlements reduced to mounds of corpses. Making matters worse, the dry season was ending. When it came time to burn the village, the Moneni River had swelled. Many of the bodies were waterlogged.
Meaning they didn't burn completely.
The corpses still contained viable eggs, and the larvae were...
The parasites. They were tested.
Your Wolbachia stopped the infection all right, but I still don't get it.
About this OKB-0 Emmerich was talking about. Its location and features match the citadel in the mountain.
It seems Sahelanthropus' armor is made from depleted uranium. That offers some serious protection. The U.S.
Code Talker. What are the metallic archaea?
Volcanic craters spewing sulfur. Water hot enough to boil your skin off. Ocean depths of 800 plus atmospheres. Wastelands radioactive enough to kill you where you stand. There are groups of organisms that survive despite. No, because of living in such environments.
I've heard about them. Extremo... something.
Extremophiles. By selecting certain species, then subculturing and repeatedly modifying them, I created a metallic offspring of pure archaea. They subsist on metals rather than organic matter.
And some of them even consume uranium?
Yes. Uranium enrichment archaea metabolize only uranium-235. As a result, they produce weapons-grade enriched uranium.
How is that possible?
Consider how plants fractionate carbon isotopes when they conduct photosynthesis. Nature possesses abilities beyond our imagination.
So it was archaea that brought down your chopper?
Corrosive archaea, yes. They oxidize metals, feeding off the energy in the electrons they receive. What became of the wreckage?
We had the R&D team retrieve samples for study in airtight plastic containers, of course.
Prudent. We shall extract archaea from it in good time. They should help you fight back against Blagana.
Any chance we could start now? It doesn't have to be a lot. I might just have another use for them.
If it's only a small amount you need.
That's fine. I'll get the R&D team to assist. Let's go.
South Africa was previously suspected of developing nuclear weapons. It already had a conspicuous presence at the UN because of apartheid and its armed expansionism. But when neighboring Angola and Mozambique became socialist countries in '74, South Africa felt hounded into a corner. So it accelerated its nuclear program to protect itself. 3 years later, the Soviets discovered a test facility. And 2 years after that, an American satellite observed a flash in the southern Indian Ocean. It said this was South Africa conducting a nuclear test with the help of a certain ally. Skullface used the situation in South Africa to get this ally to lend a hand. They both wanted nukes, so it was a mutually beneficial relationship. On the surface, anyway.
I figure South Africa started getting serious about nuclear weapons production in '75. In '74, the government was still able to get by with both the era crushed by Cypher for possessing a WMD. That's right, Bob.
South Africa was
Emmerich uses externally powered legs of his own design. It's bionics technology, a product of the U.S. military's failed attempt to develop a powered exoskeleton. All the wearer has to do is apply a little force, and the actuators continue the movement in that direction. But his legs are unique. Instead of using a hydraulic mechanism, the actuators run off metallic archaea. That increases the actuator's reaction speed and also enables him to lock and release the joints at will. The legs are a nifty little gadget, but they have two clear weaknesses. First, they're dependent on external power,
Maybe because he built them knowing he couldn't leave his lab. There's no internal battery. That's why they won't work if they aren't plugged in. Second, and this is more than just a weakness, the legs are directly connected to his bones. Could be to minimize signal loss and the orders output to the legs and the drive response from them. Either way, Emmerich has used bolts to attach load-bearing parts directly to his femurs, probably by mimicking surgical treatment for compound fractures and the like. But the end result is those legs and his body are fused, and that appears in front of him. Life wouldn't... Emmerich uses externally powered legs of his own design. It's bionics technology, a product of the U.S. military's failed attempt to develop a powered exoskeleton. All the wearer has to do is apply a little force, and the actuators continue the movement in that direction. But his legs are unique. Instead of using a hydraulic mechanism, the actuators run off metallic archaea. That increases the actuator's reaction speed and also enables him to lock and release the joints at will. The legs are a nifty little gadget, but they have two clear weaknesses. First, they're dependent on external power, maybe because he built them knowing he couldn't leave his lab. There's no internal battery. That's why they won't work if they aren't plugged in. Second, and this is more than just a weakness, the legs are directly connected to...
Thanks to Code Talker, we've managed to put a stop to any new vocal cord parasite infections. We couldn't save those already symptomatic, but everyone who survived has been released from the quarantine platform. Skullface will pay for this. Boss, Emmerich confessed. Skullface's endgame is to activate the bipedal walking tank Sahelanthropus and deploy it into live combat in Afghanistan. That's why he moved into the Soviet research facility they call OKB-0. If his plan comes to fruition, there'll be no stopping the ripple effect worldwide. Find a way to make contact with Skullface before that happens. Then learn what you can from him, and put a stop to his plan. We'll have our fun with him later. This is it, boss. Diamond Dogs is strong enough now to face him head-to-head. It won't be like 9 years ago. Make your way to OKB-0.
hideout is north of the Soviet base. That's where Skullface is keeping Sahelanthropus before setting it loose in Afghanistan. There's a good chance he's got nukes, too.
Boss, we need to figure out what Skullface is up to. If you make contact with him, get him to talk. The ethnic cleansing parasites, Sahelanthropus. Find out what his plans are.
All we know is that Skullface's plans are on the verge of fruition. We need to stop him while we still can.
Be careful down there, boss.
Soviet soldiers in that area are all dead. Apparently XOF unleashed the Russian parasite strain. To isolate the facility, they first spread reports of a chemical weapon leak. The infection won't spread into the surrounding regions. Still, I think they just exterminate the men who work with them all this time. Skullface must be making his final play. Snuck into the cargo on board the chopper. His idea of an escape attempt? Who can say? We'll think of how to deal with him later.
Snake, do you read me? I know more than anyone about OKB-0 and Sahelanthropus. Boss, I've made up my mind. I want to be of use to you, not him. Let me work to pay for what I've done. I'll prove it, that I've always been your ally.
Boss, I'll be focused on coordinating backup here at Mother Base. The chain of command is still in place. If you have orders, give them through Miller as usual. Skullface is in OKB-0. Start by making contact with him. The facility itself is under the control of XOF, Cypher's strike force. We have no hard data on their force strength, so your judgment in the field will be key. Boss, we're finally here. Find Skullface, and take everything from him. OKB-0 is up ahead. A citadel nestled amongst the mountains. Now it's occupied by XOF. This is it, boss. This is it.
Sí, son los de Chop.
XOF has occupied the facility. Skullface must be close. Get down. The enemy sniper. Stay low and crawl along the ground. That should enable you to sneak past enemies.
Puta, yo no lo puedo pasar para acá. Tenía que ser mi francotirador. ¡Ah! ¿Qué hora es?